Hi everyone, Bruno Recommends Records here again, and today I'm doing the second part of Vinyl Richie's anniversary contest. Richie, 20 prompts, man. What the hell were you thinking? First prompt, show an album with a fat dude on the cover. This is a Brazilian band called Ratos de Porão, and this is their live album. It's a 2023 Argentinian 2 LP remastered reissue on Pinhead Records. Originally came out on 1992, and the lead singer, this guy here, his name is João Gordo, which translated means Fat John. And as you can see, here's his belly, and he was way too fat in 1992. So this is the inner, the back. It brings also this inner, and I'm only gonna show one record because the labels are practically identical. The only thing that changes is A, B, C, and D and the name of the songs. Okay, second prompt, show an album that shows how Vinyl Richie dances. And I'm going with one of Richie's favorite bands, which is The Cramps, with Smell of Female, live record, mini album or EP, whatever you want to call it. And in here, you have here the moves that Vinyl Richie would do or usually does. If you don't trust me, check my other video for his contest. And this is a UK 1983 OG Sonopress pressing on Big Beat Records, and here's the record in pretty good shape. Next prompt, show an album that shows beer or a backyard. So everybody's been showing beer, so I'm gonna go for the backyard because I don't have both. And the record I chose is Judy Collins' In My Life. And besides she's not drinking a beer, she has like what it seems a brandy or probably a scotch, something like that. And especially considered Judy Collins, she kicks your butt if you're like choosing beer for the cover, man. So this is a 1967 UK stereo OG on Elektra. But originally, the record came out in North America in 1966. And here's the record. There you go. Next one. Show an album that was recommended by someone in the vinyl community. So I'm going to mention Robert Fidden because he was the responsible one for me to get these two records I'm going to show because they were on the same video. The first one is Peace and Quiet, self-titled album. This is a 1971 European OG on CBS. On US came on Kinetic, the label. There you go. Here's the record on the CBS label, which is only for the UK edition. The other band and the other record is Osmosis, also a self-titled album. So this is a 1970 UK stereo OG on RCA Victor label. Here we go. Yep. Next one, show an album that has band members on the cover but does not include the singer. Gorilla Biscuits with Start Today. And here we go. So this is a 2022 US repress on Revolution Records and originally came out on 1989. It comes with this poster with information and photos from the band and the lyrics on the other side, and comes on translucent green, which right now it seems a little bit more bluish, but live it looks pretty green. Next prompt, show an album of a name of a band you can't pronounce. I'm going to show a Portuguese band, and although the name is in Portuguese, This is a really hard thing to pronounce. It used to be this thing when I was a kid. We used to challenge each other to try to say this in the fastest way as possible, and your tongue just rolls over, which is the name the band chose, and is Três Tristes Tigres. I'm gonna try to say it fast. Três Tristes Tigres. You see, it's just really hard, even for a Portuguese. So this one came out on 2022. It's a self-released Portuguese first press. It's called Mínima Luz, which is a minimal light, and the name of the band is like Three Sad Tigers. And here you have the insert with the lyrics, and it comes autographed, dedicated to me. And here you are. No label. There you go. So let's go for the next question, which is the seventh one, or prompt. Show an album that has something to do with the digestive system. I was about to show a different one, but I haven't. I'm gonna hold that one for another video. Don't get me wrong. So I'm showing In Utero from Nirvana, and as you can see, you have the whole digestive system showing up in this transparent doll. And this is a 2013 US and Canada 20th anniversary remastered reissue on 2LP 45 RPM. This is the album, and then they have the extras or another record on 33 RPM, and it came out on DGC and Universal Music Enterprises. Originally, the album is from 1993, as most of you know. So this is a trifold. I'm going to try to show you the best I can. There you go. And you have the back. It comes with a download card. There you go. And it's 3 records. I'm going to try to show them all because the labels are a little bit different. I'm not sure who is this guy. I think it's Dave Grohl. So in here you have Chris Novoselic. Side A was Kurt. You have Dave Grohl in here, so I don't know who that guy was. There you go, the 3rd record. Next prompt, 8th. Show an album that you wouldn't think Vinyl Richie would have in his collection. Well, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have. Or maybe it does, and he's just lying about and trying not to be a poser. So, Green Day Dookie. I think this is completely off Vinyl Richie's taste. Although he likes punk, but he doesn't like this kind of pop punk. But anyway, I think Richie is stage diving in the background, so I'm not sure about it. Let's see. This is not an original. The original was censored. It had like a Bernie from Sesame Street here, but they didn't have permission, so they ended up being censored, and then they scrapped it up in the next edition. So that first edition is quite expensive. This is a 2023 European 30th anniversary stereo limited edition reissue on Reprise or Reprise Records. I never know how to pronounce it. And originally came out on 1994. You have the inner with the lyrics and some photos. They were quite young back here. This was the album that exploded, gave them fame and glory, and put punk being a commercial thing, punk bands earning money, decent money, so, and came out on a baby blue color. Next one, We Don't Need No Shirt. So I'm gonna show kind of the OG shirtless guy, which is Jesus Christ. And this is In God We Trust Incorporated, iconic EP from Dead Kennedys that includes Nazi Punk's Fuck Off. There you have, and this is a 1981 UK OG. It's a Porky Prime cut on Staldic Records and Alternative Records. So you have the Alternative Records label over there. Next, show an album and give very little detail about it, but make sure you say it's fantastic. So Why not? This album is fantastic. And the cover is also fantastic. And there you have the musicians. It's a gatefold, so I'm pretty sure most of you know what it is. For those who don't know, this is Elton John's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy, which is a more progressive album for Elton John, obviously. This is a 1975 UK stereo translucent Tranco first pressing gatefold on DJM Records, and I have it with all the inserts, which is this poster, and it comes with 2 booklets. I know lots of people know what I'm talking about, and this one has lyrics, information, photos, some images as well. Ticket of a gig over there, more tickets, and then it also has kind of a comic book. You have photos, you have like newspaper cuts, so really cool, more stuff. And where's the comic book? I think the comic book or strip is in the very end, so there you go. And yeah, the comic book part in the very end. Really cool to have this all together or complete. I'm not going to be able to show you this. If you put this in light, it doesn't look black. It's translucent, a little bit between red and brown. Next one, show a punk album with a hole in the middle. I'm going to show a punk record, not an album. And it has a hole in the middle. So as you can see, it also has a hole in the cover, hole in the record. And this is the Motherfuckers with I'm a Fucker. This is a 2003 UK limited edition single, 7-inch, single-sided. It's the only pressing on the Sheffield Phonographic Corporation, and it comes on clear red. Let's see it like this. As you can see, clear record, and it also has this kind of obi strip. Next, show an album with a beautiful woman on the cover. So I chose the Graduate soundtrack. And I know everybody's thinking that I'm talking about Anne Bancroft's Leg, but actually I'm talking about Dustin Hoffman, because if you guys saw Tootsie, he's like a very beautiful woman. So here it is. This is a 1968 UK stereo OG on CBS label. There you go. Next, show an album that has something you would take to a party. So I'm choosing Billion Dollar Babies because this is supposedly a wallet, and I always take my wallet or my credit card to a party because you never know if you're gonna need to buy anything. Some parties you have to buy the drinks. It depends on what kind of party you are, if it's in a club or a disco, or if it's something more homemade. Anyway, even if you are in a homemade party where you don't need to buy anything, if you get too drunk, you have to come back home, and it's best to call a cab or an Uber. So it's always nice to have your wallet. So this is complete, and it has the dollar bill poster. I'm not going to take it out. The cover, like the inner, has like some stains. This was quite a bargain. Actually, this is the mix of 2 bargains, but the record is pretty good because this is a 1973 UK stereo embossed cover, first press, gatefold, as you've seen on the Warner Brothers green labels. Great record. Okay, next one. Open up a sealed outer sleeve, and this is a prompt that it's totally my fault. So
I'm just going to skip that question.
I don't have it. Here, I sort of do. Richie likes the sound when people do that.
Okay, 15 prompt. Show an offensive album. What could be more offensive than this? And the band said later that they look like the Bee Gees, and they kind of looked, which is not, doesn't match with what the fans were used to. And even the album itself, it's a little bit more toned down in terms of prog. You have a song or two here with kind of a proggy vibe, but this is a more pop album for Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And this is a 1978 US stereo gold disc pressing that came on Atlantic. And this US edition usually had this merchandise order form. And there you go. I was able to find one still with the form. Let me just show the record of Emerson, Lake and Palmer on Atlantic. There you go. Next one. Show a sexy album cover featuring shirtless man. And I'm gonna show this Portuguese band. Look how sexy this guy is, isn't it? Huh? Sexy. Okay, this is a band called Enapa 2000. This album is called Project Enapa 2000 Project, and it's a 2022 Portuguese reissue on El Tatu. Originally came out on the same label on 1991 on vinyl, because the CD has a slight different name and the cover is different and the order of the tracks is different as well. So here's the record. There you go. Next, show an album with weapons or a scene of violence. So let's go for Manowar, another shirtless guy. Usually I don't like this kind of metal, but this album, specific album, kind of reminds me part of my life. And I had this cousin who used to love and still loves, I think. I don't speak with him for a long time, but he was really into heavy metal, and this was his favorite album back then. So it kind of brings me back memories, and it has a good version of The Flight of the Bumblebee played on bass, which is I just loved it. Although the bass player is a twat. So this is a 1988 European stereo OG on Atlantic label. This is the inner with the lyrics, and here's the record. There you go. 18, show an album of someone that could beat up Gigi Allen if he were still alive. Well, let's say Stevie Wonder. I bet that probably Stevie Wonder wouldn't kick Gigi Allen's ass, but I'm pretty sure that you haven't seen this one coming. Okay, so this is Hotter Than July. It starts getting a little bit more commercial from here. There you go. This is a 1980 UK stereo OG that comes on Gatefold, and it's on the Motown label, and it has the inner with the picture of Martin Luther King and some kind of riots over here. And there you go. You have the record. The label is signed by the owner, but the record is in kind of so-and-so shape. I think this was like a pound record that I bought. Okay, next one. Show an album of outsider music. And I'm going to show you Portuguese artist called Escuro Fichado. His family is from Angola. This album is called Cuzarrunho. There's a kind of traditional music called Funana. It has accordion. He mixes that with kind of a electronic, punkish, more violent vibe, and his voice is really wispy and hard. So very cool album, totally off anything you ever listen in your life. This is a 2021 Portuguese limited numbered and only release edition on Garagem label, and it came on, I'm gonna show you the kind of poster with lyrics, let's call it poster. And I was saying came out on a red vinyl. There you go. Next, show an album from when you were 11 and one that is 11 years old. This album originally came out in 1991. This is a Portuguese band called Censurados, which means censored, and the album is called Confusão, which is confusion. Great record, although all the lyrics are in Portuguese. So this is a 2014 Portuguese limited numbered reissue edition on Rastilho Records, and you have the inner with the lyrics, and it comes on kind of a ruby translucent red. It's actually a beautiful color. Last one, an album that is 11 years old, and I chose another Portuguese band. This is a punk band, really punk, and it's called Dokuga. Here you go. So this is a 2015 Portuguese limited numbered edition on Garagem, which I already mentioned on another record. I think Escuro Fichado is from the same label. And it comes with this poster with the lyrics and a photo of the band. It's not on colored vinyl. This one is on black vinyl. It's a very good punk album. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. Let's see you in my next video, and see you soon, guys. And don't forget, the plural of vinyl is vinyl.